Is a beautiful Wednesday, is it not?
It is so gorgeous out. I can't handle it, actually.
Well, thanks for joining us. I'm Sonia with the West Banco Arena and Capitol Theater.
I'm Olivia with the Visit Wheeling WV. We've got Lola. Hello. Hey. And we've got a special guest today.
Ron Green, how are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me. Nice to see you. We should do a remote outside, as nice as it is.
I know. Well, the nice thing about having you on the show today is it's positive vibes that we might see some summer programming.
Yes. A little later in the summer, but summer.
But people are allowed, Governor Justice said it's okay to plan. His act isn't lifted yet, or his restriction isn't lifted yet, but he's letting everybody plan. So that makes me feel like he's going to let everybody
do something.
Yeah, well, I'm hoping that's why with the race, we decided to go the first week in October just to stretch things out, just in case.
Well, tell us what the name of your race is.
Of course, the Debbie Green 5K run walk for leukemia, even though it helps all kind of pediatric cancers. It's because my sister had leukemia. But, last year it was canceled due to the coronavirus. And we canceled it probably second week of April, maybe end of April. Because things were just going south so fast, and nobody had any answers. I raised all this money to put this event on, and none of it's mine. And I didn't want to spend any money with put dates and stuff on things and not know what's going to happen. And then the governor or CDC or whomever, completely out of all of our control, rightfully so, and shut things down. So we had to make a decision, and we were one of the first ones that actually canceled something at the waterfront, and domino effect kind of followed after that.
Yeah, the Italian festival waited till literally a week or two before, and then the governor shut it down.
Yeah.
He said no more festivals.
Yeah.
So it was a pretty good call for everybody to
just kind
of back off. We've had a few, for this summer back off. The Dragon Boat race won't occur this year. The Ogden and Tough Mudder won't happen this year.
right?
No.
Stern? No, it's still going?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then a
Middle
couple.
September.
That's right. Oh, yeah, so that's pretty late.
Yeah.
What am I thinking of?
I don't know.
Oh, the Dragon Boat race. That's what I was thinking
said.
boats. Yeah.
Yeah, I said drag. Yeah.
Sorry, everybody.
And then we have your event, and then the Ohio Valley Pride, and the Chili Cook-Off has chosen to go a couple months, back towards fall, which I don't blame them.
Yeah, it was funny because I was thinking about doing this, and I made the decision and spoke to committee members, and I was going to give Sonia a call. One day I was taking lunch in my mail truck, and all of a sudden I see this text, and it's from her, and it was like, how weird. I was thinking about her the day before, and I was going to call her, and then I said, can I call you? And we talked, and we just, I told her this was the weekend that I was looking at. I went into previous schedule from 2019 to see what was going on at the port, and I knew it wasn't an easy decision to make, but I thought it was the right one to give opportunity, because you kept hearing all this stuff about the vaccines, but all that's news until it comes reality, and then we decided to do what we did by going to October for this year, 21, and then go back to the original weekend, which is first week in August, which is what it's been for all 22 years.
I'm not going to lie. Imagine how much, I think more people might sign up because the weather would be maybe a little cooler.
Yeah.
For those of us that really aren't marathon runners.
Well, we did it in the heat, and and I've had numerous people want me to change the times, And maybe, who knows, maybe, I'm not against morning races. It just seemed like it's how it started, and I fought myself a few times. Even a couple of years, I was asking people, hey, because I have got some race committee members involved in church stuff, and I didn't want to say, hey, you can't go to church because now we're going to do it on a Sunday morning.
Right.
Well, I spoke with them, and they said, we're flexible, we can handle that, and so we went, this year doing it, and I did what was best for the event and for the city at the same time, because I made sure what was good for the city when it was a good weekend. I didn't want to go too late because it's a benefit.
Right.
I didn't want to go in November, and then you got the veterans race. I didn't want to get close to it. Our weekend, the first weekend of October, was pretty good. The weekend before was also open, but that's the great race in Pittsburgh. I've got a lot more sense than to go head to head with the great race in Pittsburgh.
Right.
So your event funds kids. You know what I mean? So families, not everything is 100% covered at the hospital.
Right.
And you guys are able to take one or two kids a year under your wings and have this amazing race for it. How do people go about reaching out to you maybe in the next couple of years to?
Well, they can just contact me through the race site. My
Which
phone
is?
number's www.debbiegreen5k.com.
Okay.
Or they could call my cell at 740-296-3958 and get in touch with me. And there's a form that has to be filled out from the doctor stating that they have cancer. They live within 100 miles of Wheeling. You know, I've went as far as, it's 125 miles now. Let me go backtrack there. Because we had a family that was like 112.
Yeah.
And it was a connection from that family to the race. And I thought, wow, 12 miles, and really? I can't change this, you know? Do I want to drive 112 miles to meet somebody? Yeah, for this reason, yeah. For the kids' sake. You know, so, and we have 4 different recipients right now that we've been talking to. You know, our area is limited to 3. But, you know, I'm very flexible, so who knows, you know? It's kind of hard because I don't want to, when I meet these families, I want to be a friend. I don't want to be somebody to just say, hey, we're going to give you so much amount of money, and then I have to actually monitor all that money to a spent from every family. They've got paperwork that they have to fill out. And then the IRS monitors me, which is good because no one's going to say, well, I heard he did this or I heard he did that. No, here it all is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Paper
know,
trails are good.
Everything's done by check, you know, I don't, you know, everything's done legit, you know, and that's a good thing because all it takes is one person to say, to sow doubt, so to speak, you know, but this way, okay, here's your doubt, check it out.
Yeah.
And you 100% are doing everything you can to.
And nobody handles any of the finances but me.
Yeah.
Nobody. I've got a big grace committee that do a lot of things, but when it comes to that checkbook, it's yours truly only.
Well, that's good.
That's good. All right, well, we're going to cut to a break, and when we come back, we're going to talk a little bit more about, you know, the 1 mile.
Yes.
Yeah.
Green Mile.
The Green
Yeah.
Mile and stuff like
Yep.
that, all
All
right?
right, stay tuned.
Please support the sponsors that support the station. You're listening to The Watchdog.
Tune in to the Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe, weekday mornings 7 to 10 a.m. on the Valley's favorite live and local talk radio station, The Watchdog.
This is Wheeling Fire Chief Larry Helms, reminding everyone about the seriousness of this COVID-19 in our region during these colder weather months. This virus is spreading rapidly and could put a strain on our hospitals and emergency services. I am asking everyone to please wear a mask. It's important to make sure your mask covers your nose and your mouth at all times. Wearing a mask is one of the only defensive tactics we have to slow this virus down. Remember, wear a mask, stay apart, and wash your hands.
CA House Music has all the gear to make your music legendary. With all the best gear, including Fender, Epiphone, Yamaha, and more, CA House will have you rocking in no time. Get the most for your money with everyday low prices. And we meet or beat internet pricing. Play before you buy and let our product specialists help you pick out the instrument that's right for you. CA House Music, supporting local musicians since 1872. Play music for life.
WKKX and WVLY. Voted coolest couple in their high school year.
Save today on your next project with 11% off everything now at Menards. Lower your home's energy costs with Owens Corning panel insulation. It's perfect for insulating basement walls or a new garage floor. Right now, get 11% off all Owens Corning insulation. Start saving with 11% off everything now at Menards. Good through Saturday, March 13th. Savings are a mail-in rebate. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Save big money at Menards.
Plumbers and Steam Fitters Local 83 want to thank the owners and contractors of the Ohio Valley for using their locally trained workers to help build for the future. Local 83 helps design, fabricate, and build the gas infrastructure for the oil and gas industry here in the Ohio Valley. Plumbers and Steam Fitters Local 83 is 300 members strong and growing. They also do residential, commercial, and industrial work on both sides of the river. For more information, call Plumbers and Steam Fitters Local 83 at 304-233-4445.
It's now time for Winging It with Sonia and Liv.
All right, Lola, you're playing another good jam.
Oh, yeah.
All right, Ronnie, well, tell us a little bit about your race. How did it get started, and what's the most you've ever had as far as race participants?
We've had right around 1,400 was our largest, and that's really big, and that's what's the biggest 5K the Valley's ever seen. And, we've had runners from all around the world come in to do the race. We have some prize money. We give a lot of awards out, nice shirts, quality shirts, medals for finishers, and it's in memory of my sister that died of leukemia in 72. I was 4 years old and I never got a chance to help her.
So this is your way of giving
And
back.
all those years I could hear, my mom and dad, I could see that thing missing whenever they talked about her. But, they lost 2 kids. They lost Debbie in 72 and my brother was killed in 76, my brother Butch, in a car accident.
Wow.
So they dealt with a lot of tragedy, and it just got to the point where I just wanted to help them out. I always knew I was too young to help my sister, but then I got out of the Army and I got involved in road racing, and fortunately I know a lot of people, and I was never afraid to ask, and it all started with a little conversation with Herx Barshane at those in Benwood at the bar, and Nick was there too, and little Nick said, well, we'll feed everybody. Little did he know he'd feed 1,400 people. And then it went from that to a whole weekend, from a mile on Friday night to Debbie's Dash for the kids, was 9 and under, 100-yard dash.
Yeah,
and then
that's
the
always
5K.
fun.
It's been a national championship 3 times. It's listed by one of the top running magazines in the country as one of the top 260 road races in the world for of any kind. We're right in the conversation, even though we're not a Boston Marathon. When you see that list, the Debbie Green 5K from Wheeling's in it.
Yeah, we've sponsored your event for years because of that.
Yes.
So, we do know it brings in people, and it's, something that's discussed, and it's on the race circuit for sure. So.
And we raise money for kids with cancer, in memory of Debbie. We've helped numerous kids. We've had, my sister died in April 4th, 1972, and her birthday was in June, and the first child we lost died on her birthday.
Wow.
And it was just so ironic. I was sitting on my porch and I was hearing, we heard he passed, and people were coming and telling me, and I had a few phone calls. I said, well, when I hear from the family, then I'll, and then my sister said, and it never even hit me, my sister was sitting there with me, she said, today's Debbie's birthday. I said, oh my God, how weird is that, And then we've helped families that, we've helped bury a couple kids.
Yeah.
That's the unfortunate part of this, when someone signs up, enrolls their children in possibly being involved at the race, and all of a sudden they pass away. Well, I'm not going to walk away from them. That would be pretty ignorant, The paperwork is for the legit part of it, and at the same time, I can't have somebody say, my son died 3-4 years ago, and we have these bills.
Right.
But there's no paperwork in. I have to. There's rules and regulations. Our race attorney set that up just so we were doing everything right. Then to my accountant, But I met one of the kids we helped at his funeral. That was where I met him.
That's kind of crazy when you think about that.
It's people think you're just a race director, and it's so much more.
No, I think, for what your mission is in terms of what you're raising money for, it has to be much more.
Yeah.
And then when I meet these families, I just relive the 70s.
Yeah.
In my whole life, coming up with my parents and my brothers and
The
siblings.
struggles that they all have.
Yeah, what they, when I listen to them, I see the looks on their face, I know what they're going through.
Yeah, tell us about the Green Mile.
Well, the Green Mile I put in because I had a lot of people telling me when I would talk to them about the 5K, I can't do 3 miles. Well, then I come back at them, well, can you do a mile?
That wasn't Olivia and I, because we're like, 5 miles? What? 3 miles? That's not enough for us.
Yeah, really. I'm looking at 12, 13 halves. I want a sticker.
But we did the mile just for a little extra, And of course, we had an expo last 2 years in the arena.
The mile is an excellent bar crawl.
But it's good because you got the small ones that kind of get started in it.
Yeah.
I've had some people tell me that's when my kid got started running your race. He started in the mile.
And that's super cute. Yeah.
Then they get that. We've had I tell you where they take off, and you can only control so much at the starting line when they take off. And I get up there and tell them, look, the big one's in the front, the smaller one, it's not timed. The timer's got the time going, but we don't have chips on them.
Yeah.
And I don't push anybody over, and you know how that goes with kids. You see somebody get knocked on their knees, and they get right up and take off running. Some of them dusting the stuff off their legs. But it's fun for the kids, and then the people are there cheering them on, the music's blaring. you know, and then we've always had a news station broadcast that, the last 2 years broadcast that live on the evening news, and so get to see the kids going and music pumping, and the facilities that we have are phenomenal at the waterfront and in the arena. I can't ask for anything better, you know.
It is a great setup.
It is. It was well thought of. But for the Green Mile, sometimes people walk in memory of somebody.
Yeah, we've had that happen too numerous times. I know we've heard numerous ones. Don Carp will just come to mind. Undo, you know, my nephew that passed away in 2013, we did it in his memory, and just several, you know, that we've helped honor.
Yeah.
And some of them that were actually here. You know, we had one gentleman, Lou DiFilippo from Steubenville. I actually was his mailman for several years, and he had bone cancer. Well, we did the Green Mile for him one year. Okay, he was still alive, and I remember watching him one day going through cancer, and I was delivering mail, and there was this guy he was talking to, and he had this big cowboy hat on. And I said, "Hey, Lou, what are you doing?" He says, "I'm training this guy here. He had a stroke." He says, "This is the man." He points to me. "This is the man. He's in charge of the Debbie Green race. You do whatever you want at his race. He's in charge." He says, "I'm going to get this guy to the race," you know. And he came to the race with his friends, but he was failing. So he did the mile in a wheelchair, and there was probably 40, 50 family members behind him. Well, the next day, he did the 5K, and they pushed him, and they pushed him, and they pushed him, and come down the Water Street there on the riverside, and he got about 200 yards away, and everybody was cheering, standing for him. He pushed himself out of that wheelchair, and it was like out of a movie. And he ran across that finish line. People were cheering for him, and 2 weeks later, he died. He told me the last thing he ever did was race for my sister. He went to races everywhere and took applications with him and would pass them out to people. He didn't have to do that. He did it all of his own. But that's what he told me. You know, that's the atmosphere that we've created with this race. You know, and I've had people tell me when we retire race numbers prior to the race at the flagpole, I've had people tell me there's not a dry eye in the place. Because you get up there and you speak with it from your heart. You know, I don't prepare nothing. I don't have to. You know, I know what I'm going to say. I've left some things out in the past, and one year I left out my brother, passed away, and it didn't hit me till the next morning in church. And it bothered me for 364 days until the very first, I said, I'm not going to forget. I got my brother, Greg, and my sister, Carolyn, and my mom, and my dad, and I forgot somebody last year, and it churned at me for a whole year. You know, but, you know, I mean, do the best you can. You put your heart and soul into it. You leave no stone unturned, and you have the Valley's finest helping you out. I mean, the sponsors I have are just phenomenal.
And if somebody wants to sponsor the event,
they can call me at 740-296-3958 and get in touch with me, and we still have time. The application won't go to print till sometime in June. This year. The website will be updated. It's half and half updated right now, but it's going to get further. I've got friends to do that, and when they have the time to do it, they know it has to be done at a certain time. And I just call them and say, "Hey, can you do this for me?" And it's good because they always tell me, "We don't know race directing, you do. You don't know computers, we do."
Right.
So they've set up my Facebook, and I can do stuff on it now, but when I started, I had no idea.
Does the race have a Facebook page and people can like go on, see the pictures and pray tell?
Yeah, just get Debbie Green 5K and it'll take you right to it.
Perfect,
Yeah,
perfect.
and there's all the history of the years of the race, and like on a website, it's got all the results from the years gone by and photos. You can also go to the website and it'll take you to the Facebook page too from there.
Good. Is there anything this year you think either we knew or something that you want to strive for? I know everything will be different, I'm sure.
Yeah, there's
some way, shape, or form.
There's going to be some things different. You know, we're gonna do what I'm asking people is when we do go live with the registration, to not wait and sign up.
Right.
Because we don't know if we will have registration race day because of in-person contact and so forth, because we're learning as we go.
Right,
You know,
yeah.
we're gonna,
And everything can change.
Yeah, everything could change. We may not mail out race applications. You may have to go to the website. You know, we've got a lot of reach with our Facebook page, with lists that we have that we can coordinate with through email blasts and so forth. We can really get it out there. You know, but, you know, and there are people that don't want to sign up online, and I'm kind of like that too. There's been too many races I signed up for online. I like to write it and send it.
Right.
But some people, things are changing.
Yeah, but for the better though, because if you want vaccinated right now, you have to do it online, so people are
Yeah.
really quickly learning how to do those things.
I get to do that at 12:01 midnight tonight because in Ohio, it finally goes to 50 and up.
Well, good luck.
So I'm looking forward to that.
Good luck. Well, that's good. Well, this race has always been a staple of Wheeling. It's funny because today is March 10th. March 13th is the day that at the CVB, we were all sitting there and Frank was like, you know what, we better close for 2 weeks and see what happens. 4 months later, we opened slightly back up and then we closed again, So it's just kind of crazy. It's almost 1 year ago. We all were just now saying, let's see what happens in 2 weeks.
I remember delivering mail and noticing there was less traffic and businesses were closed, and it just was weird. It was just so...
It's still odd.
It was so strange because it was just like... And then it was just like all, because I got a business route plus homes. So, and then I drive through the business area too, and it just was really strange because everything was closed. I was holding all that mail because the doors were locked. I'm not gonna...
Yeah, we had ours held too.
Yeah, our mail, CVB takes our mail right now.
Yeah, we do.
But this was just so weird, and we make the decision to cancel the race because of a lot of reasons,
Yeah.
I had people that want to do, messaging me, understandably, about a virtual race. And I thought, well, what if I have a virtual race and 300 people send me an application? Well, I myself have to package up 300 shirts and get 300 envelopes ready to be mailed out because I can't, in good conscience, say to my race committee members, hey, let's all get together in my house and package these shirts. And God knows if we make a super spreader event in my living room. Because nobody knew,
Yeah, no.
And I had one of my niece who helps out with the race, and she was a COVID nurse, and she's at the Carnes Center, Cancer Center over at Ohio State. But she was 9 months doing it. She actually got it. She got the COVID virus when she was in Arizona when it was really bad last summer. And it was like I just saw her first time in a year. I ran into her by accident at my sister's house. I walked in and I seen the vehicle out in the driveway. I'm like, what? She's here, And she was actually at our house over the weekend. She messaged us, said, because she lives in down by Parkersburg.
Right.
She drives to Columbus back and forth from there. But she was all over the country.
Well, we're thankful for her for sure.
Oh, she just,
very thankful.
All right, Ronnie, well,
we got to take a break.
how do we get a hold of you to get for the Debbie Green race?
Just call me at 740-296-3958.
When's the date?
It's October 2nd for the Green Mile at 9 o'clock in the morning. October 3rd will be the Debbie's Dash, which will be at about 8:15, and the 5K will go at 9 o'clock. And we'll make it a go, and hopefully everybody's out and having fun and being safe, and,
We can't wait.
just try to get back to normal. It's going to we're taking baby steps.
That's right.
But there's light at the end of the tunnel.
All right, everybody. That was Ronnie Green from the Debbie Green race.
Debbie Green 5K on Facebook. Look it up.
We'll see you in October.
Thank you for having me.
We're going to go to a break. Please support the sponsors that support this station. You're listening to The Watchdog.
The Metro News Update is brought to you by Thomas Auto Centers, Mall Road, St. Clairsville. Get the best deal at Thomas Auto Centers.
West Virginia Metro News, I'm Chris Lawrence. There was a long floor debate Tuesday in the state Senate over a measure dealing with the controversial topic of needle exchange. The bill would stiffen requirements for authorizing to run a needle exchange program anywhere in West Virginia, something Putnam County Senator Eric Tarr believes is necessary.
Somebody applies for a license to operate a needle exchange. First, the way this bill sets it up is that needle exchange program would have to be housed within a comprehensive harm reduction program, which has all those services.
And Tarr sponsored the bill and also an amendment requiring the county sheriff provide a letter of support for needle exchange in the county, but there was pushback from some who feel the bill puts obstacles in the way of harm reduction programs. Kanawha County Senator Richard Lindsay argued it puts the wrong people in charge.
Having the sheriff on top of the county commission, on top of whoever else, play a role with no medical background and whether or not these programs exist or don't, that's not where we should go.
The bill passed 22-11, now goes to the House. There are 18 vaccination clinics in West Virginia happening today aimed at getting more West Virginians immunized against COVID-19. All of the shots are by appointment only, and appointments are being scheduled for those who have pre-registered at vaccinate.wv.gov. The governor's Wednesday COVID-19 briefing getting started this hour. You can see that at wvmetronews.com. Also, the governor's much talked about proposal aimed at eventually eliminating the state's income tax is now in bill form, introduced in the House. You're listening to Metro News, the voice of West Virginia. In Wayne County, floodwater last week caused significant damage at Dunlow Elementary School, and as a result, students can't go back to that school this academic year.
Therefore, the Wayne County School Board has announced starting Monday, those Dunlow students will attend class at Cowboy Lingo State Forest. The classes will be held 5 days a week for the rest of the school year at the Forest Group Camp. School buses will run to that camp. House and Senate floor sessions are getting started this hour in Charleston at the legislature. From the Metro News Anchor Desk, I'm Chris Lawrence.
AutomotiveMap.com presents the Sports Flash, powered by The Score on The Watchdog. I'm John Thayer. The PGA Tour is at TPC Sawgrass tomorrow as they get underway in the Players' Championship. The defending champion of the Players is Rory McIlroy. The purse for the tournament is $15 million. Last weekend, Bryson DeChambeau won the Arnold Palmer Invitational. The NASCAR Cup Series is in Phoenix this weekend. They will race on Sunday afternoon. The series last week was in Las Vegas, where Kyle Larson picked up the victory. This weekend's race is set to be televised on Fox. Conference tournaments in college basketball are heating up this week as we get closer and closer to Selection Sunday. To field the men's tournament, the women's tournament will be selected on Monday. Download the Score app today. Lightning fast sports alerts. It's why the Score app is one of North America's most popular sports apps. I'm John Thayer with the Sports Flash, powered by the Score on The Watchdog.
What can give you a competitive edge in today's red-hot housing market? Rocket can. That's because Rocket Mortgage can give you a verified approval. It could help your offer stand out, because when you find the perfect home, you don't want to lose it to anybody else. Rocket Technology provides a rock-solid verification of your income, assets, and credit, giving sellers and their agents greater confidence in you. We've already helped over 1 million clients just like you reach their home financing goals this year alone. So remember this, what can help you buy the home you really want? Rocket can. Go to rocketmortgage.com or call us today at 8338-ROCKET. That's rocketmortgage.com or call 8338-ROCKET.
A verified approval is based on an underwriter's analysis of your individual financial information, appraisal, and title report. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender licensed in all 50 states and MLSConsumerAccess.org, number 3030.
When winter weather strikes the Ohio Valley, you can trust the Storm Tracker 7 weather team to help you plan your day. Our experienced meteorologists stay connected with you on TV, online, and on social. Get your weather information straight from a local source. We'll help you be prepared and make sure you'll never be surprised.
And we do expect dry conditions overnight, tonight, and all day tomorrow.
Meteorologist Dr. Dave Walker, Aaron Mylar, and me, Zach Petty, the Storm Tracker 7 weather team. Working for
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy houses as is, fast for cash. Call me today for an all-cash offer on any of your properties, and we can close within days at 614-362-2000, 362-2000. Do you own a property that's outdated and needs thousands of dollars in repairs? Great, I'll buy it. I'm a private real estate investor who can solve your real estate problems fast for cash. Do you want to sell and just be done with it? Okay, great. I buy vacant properties, boarded up houses, pre-foreclosures, and inherited properties. I also buy apartment buildings, rental portfolios, divorce homes. I even buy my tenant won't pay me the rent houses. I look forward to solving your real estate problems today. Give me a call for an all-cash offer at 614-362-2000, 614-362-2000.
There are times when you shouldn't ignore what your body is telling you, and you need to seek medical care. At Wheeling Hospital, we want you to know that we are taking every precaution to make your visit as safe as possible. We're screening visitors using the latest infection control technologies, offering telehealth for physician visits, and more. This is true throughout our campus, in our ER trauma center, our physician offices, surgical center, and on our patient floors. The pandemic isn't over, but be assured that at Wheeling Hospital, we are here when you need us.
Listen to the Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe. Weekday mornings 7 to 10 a.m. Only on the Watchdog. Live and local talk radio just the way you like it.
Blame it all on my roots. I showed up in boots.
Welcome back to Winging It with Sonia and Liv.
That The last one to show I was the last one you thought you'd see there. And I saw the surprise and the fear in his eyes when I took his glass of champagne. And I toasted you, said, honey, we may be through, but you'll never
hear me complain. I got friends in low places.
Well, we're back. With that, we are back.
Yes.
And we are now winging it.
We are winging it.
Quite entertaining.
You're welcome, Laura.
Yes.
You know, I aim to please everybody.
She's a karaoke queen.
I want to congratulate the Mountain East Conference basketball tournament.
And West Liberty.
Yeah. Reed, Allie, and Adam are 3 components to that group. And in all honesty, I want to tell you, they pulled that tournament off within 3 weeks, maybe. You know, like, you're not really sure how it's going to all play out, fans or no fans. It was literally maybe a week and a half before when they got the final vote from the president not the president of the United States, but the MEC president.
Yeah.
You know, to have fans. And then for the families, you know, that was the first time people could see their kids play a basketball game. And for some of them, you know, it's their senior year, and you get down to the last week that they're playing all together.
Mm-hmm. We had great traffic through the CVB, and I was talking to the public market. They was getting a lot of people to come in and eat and just like look around, especially in between games if they was going back to back for the cleaning processes and things like that. But it felt good.
It did feel good.
It felt good. I mean, we saw a lot of cars in and out of town. I saw a lot of the white vans, you know, coming up and down the hills when I was heading home with the teams. And so it was refreshing to see just that critical mass coming to downtown again.
Yeah.
For an event.
Events.
Daily, multiple events.
14.
And I had to say, the arena looked great. I mean, that game for West Liberty has been picked up all over, you know, on every news station from that amazing win and just last minute final. But the arena looked great. So props to all of you.
Yeah, and I actually thought that the final game was going to go into the same situation. I lost $20 because I genuinely thought it was going to be a buzzer beater at the end and to tie it up and go into
Listen to you using them big words, buzzer beater.
Yeah.
I like a buzzer beater. You know what that means, Lola?
I have a good idea. You can explain it to me later.
Well, you know,
wink, wink.
Yeah.
No, seriously though, we're excited. The governor made a quote in the Hill newspaper, and he said it's okay to plan festivals even though the restriction hasn't been lifted yet. Now,
everybody's hopeful.
If that isn't positivity, because he isn't going to make everyone go to work and not give you something, right?
Right. Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, if it ain't broke.
Right. So let's see.
I love
Do you know what I mean? Right? I'm excited. Next week, we're going to have Josh Blakemore on here.
Talking about Waterfront Wednesdays?
Talking about Waterfront Wednesdays. Now, funny for him and Robert Bennington from the city of Wheeling. It was technically their first time last year taking over the Waterfront Wednesday events.
And it
never
canceled,
happened. Yeah. So I was kind of like laughing because I was like, this is technically your second year, but really your first year. And it's kind of funny, you know, a lot of things had changed, you know. I can't think of his name right now. Josh Sanders, it was his first year, you know, Marty Kimball retired, Tim Birch retired.
Right. Everybody had first years of complete pandemonium.
Yeah, and then nothing ever came to, fruition. So next week, we will talk about the fun that we're going to be having coming up on Waterfront Wednesdays and some of the new bands that are going to be playing there.
Oh, yeah, they haven't released, so he's going to do a special
He's going
sneak
to talk
peek
about
to
all
us.
that, yeah.
You guys heard it here first. Next week, sneak peek to Waterfront Wednesday.
Yeah.
Did you hear that, Chad Thalman? We've got a sneak peek, #1 show on Winging It.
Yeah. All right, so everyone knows right now that, you know, we have some crazy road construction going on. If you're local in Woodsdale, I'm going to give
Dusty.
Yeah, Dusty. It is Dusty.
Dusty. Gosh, Dusty.
If you're local in Woodsdale, I'm going to give you a hint.
If you give away our tips on how to get around it, I might scream.
I know. So I'm not gonna lie to you. I work in downtown Wheeling. On my way home, I actually go 470. I get off at the Bethlehem exit to come home. 5 minutes, okay?
Yeah.
On the way to work, I go backwards and I go to Washington Avenue and get on the highway there. I avoid National Road with all costs.
Yeah.
And I highly recommend everybody else to do it too. If you could backtrack it, let all the out-of-towners figure out their way down there and, does it stink? Yeah, maybe, but I'm actually used to it now. And to be honest with you, I've stopped at 3 places that I typically wouldn't have stopped at Elm Grove.
Yeah, because you see them.
Well, because I go past it, I'm like, oh, you know what? I need to stop here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I usually go 470 home, to be honest, if I don't have to get the kids, but my kids go to Woodsdale, so like sometimes I have to like go right in or try to fear or something, but I've been letting my husband do all the pickups so I can just figure it out, because it'll take me 45 minutes, like, to leave, if you can get out at the sweet spot, in between 3:20 and like 3:45, get out of downtown, you're okay. 3:45 to 4:30, everybody.
Look at yesterday, I had to call you. I was actually taking a chance because we were leaving early.
Yeah, I saw you. Hong Kong, you're like, which way are you going? I'm like, I'm going right up over here. And you're like, don't go, there's a truck stuck. I was like,
and one day
thank
I
you.
tried to go that way, there's a truck stuck.
Yeah, a truck stuck on the interstate, so.
I was like, go figure.
But it's what it is, and you know what? It's looking good.
Yeah.
It's looking good. The dust is pretty dusty right now, so if you're even trying to walk around Woodsdale in that area, I mean, got a mask.
Yeah, absolutely. And then the Bedellian project is extended. They now started on Edgewood at the corner of High School and Edgewood, and I guess they'll go down to the Jeweled Bird. We woke up Sunday morning to no parking in front of our house. That was lovely.
Yeah, considering you guys have a wonderful big garage.
We have nothing.
It's like, where do you park?
Yeah, so I've been parking actually in front of old Ward 4 Representative Wendy Scatterday's house, who lives very far away, not really far, but around the corner.
Sorry, just imagine all the extra steps you're getting per day as you're
absolutely.
training for the Debbie Green race.
Yeah, so that's going on, but my understanding is everyone's probably nervous because Elm Street is taking a really long time, and they're on for that Bedellian project, but don't quote me on this, but I talked to a gentleman the other day. They're actually digging 22 feet down because it has to go under the creek.
Oh, yeah.
That's a big job.
That's a big job, and that's why it's taking so long on Elm Street, and I was assured it wasn't going to take that long on Edgewood. Not that it's affecting me, because I've only lived in Woodsdale now 5 years, guys.
It's a long time.
I
feel like it was just yesterday.
I know. And I have flooded 6 times, and I live near no water. So, but
this has all been good. And so congratulations to you.
Thank you. I'm not going to use my basement to its fullest extent that I always wanted to, but so that's the storm separation project, and that's what they're doing right now, and hopefully they're not coming close to my house, but they're coming,
Well, where they're doing though is where a lot of it starts. And a lot of the, then when that all gets all backed up and can't control the flow, that's when the overflow starts.
Yeah.
So I think that this is a good step.
It's an absolutely great step.
Great step in the right direction. So kudos to the city of Wheeling.
Yeah, for getting that started, and hopefully one day they can get the right person is it the Army Corps of Engineers?
Yes.
That works on the creek?
Yes.
They need to talk to the right person to start, sludging, is that the word? Sludging the creek?
Yeah,
Grudging it?
Yeah, something.
Oh, I knew that before you started throwing.
Sorry,
words
grudging
out.
the creek? Sludging
Dredging.
the creek.
Dredging.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, because there's so much I know, who cares? If I can give everybody one good laugh a day, I'm there.
Hey, I wasn't there to help you. I was like, yup. That's what it's called.
Yeah, and I'm not afraid to have people laugh at me. I enjoy it. If I give you a good laugh, hey, why not?
That's why we're friends.
Even if it's at my own expense.
You always
laugh.
make me smile.
Thank you, Lola.
I love it.
No, but seriously, there's a lot of runoff that comes off that hill, and it's kind of funny because even when it's not raining, and like when the snow was melting, you could see how high the creek was.
Oh my gosh, it was scary there for a minute when it was all melting and then the rain was coming everywhere, because Cece's little friend lives there on Miller Street, and we went over there one day, and like that little stream that normally is like literally like you dumped out water and it just like happens to be there, was like a roaring thunder of like whitewater rafting. It was just, you could see the waves, the white crest of like water. I love moving water personally. It takes me to like a different place, even muddy
Yeah, no.
like creek water.
Well, that's what I went over. We were evaluating behind Main Street Bank, the parking and everything going on back there, and I was looking at how the creek meets the river.
Yeah.
And it's just amazing, though, like the different colors and how they all start to blend in with each other. It's actually kind of cool to watch.
awesome.
But it's also extremely alarming how much trash is thrown into the creek.
So volunteer wheeling is actually, I get their emails a lot right now, and you should see their projects right now. This week they have 2 projects in just the Elm Grove section alone, and they're starting that because it's, I mean, let's face it, like even when all the snow melts and the sun starts coming out, what's the first thing you want to do around your house? Me, throw everything away and start over. I even want to like spray paint my grass because it looks so awful. But like, so everyone's starting to see it, and I think we'll see more and more. Are you?
Yeah, and
you're on there. Yeah.
Yeah, and if you're interested about volunteering, you can show up tomorrow at beginning at 9 a.m. It's going to meet up at Elm Grove at the Undo's back parking lot to pick up trash along Lumber Avenue. And Sunday's cleanup on March 14th will also be in Elm Grove area. They're going to be meeting up at Arby's at 1 o'clock, and the goal is to clean up the section from the Dairy Queen down to the intersection at Parkview Lane.
Yeah, and masks, even though you'll be outside, masks are required, and they do say if you have a bucket, bring it. It's a lot easier to pick up and put it in your own bucket than a trash bag, and everything else is provided.
Yeah, absolutely. And honestly, it's so dusty there right now, I'd wear a mask anyway.
Yeah. And, you know, I'm not even jinxing us, but it was raining, it's calling for rain all weekend. It is not now.
Yeah, I hate to tell everybody, but there was a snowflake in the extended forecast.
I'm not going past Sunday. I'm not.
I know, I was going to paint my porch tomorrow. I was a little excited, and I was like, ooh, snow again? Do I want to do that?
Yeah, no, it's perfect timing because you have 3 days of beautiful, dry spring heat.
Yeah.
You know, you don't want it to be too hot so it'll sweat, but this will be perfect. I'm actually jealous that you're doing that project. I have a huge porch and it needs painted, and I just don't know what I want to do with it yet.
Every time I walk outside, I have anxiety because of, I mean, when I say paw prints, I mean, it is paw.
So you're going to do something like lighter or dark? You're going to stain it, do the same color?
I'm going to stick with the black.
And that shows nothing.
Yeah, it shows everything, but my goal this year is to find a clear paint to paint over the black. The fact that
like
this
an
has
epoxy-like thing?
I don't know.
Lacquer or something.
Yeah.
Something, but I've talked to Lowe's a million times and they told me I can't do it because it'll just tear up the paint, like it'll just bubble.
Well, you can if you use one of those stains. You can do a black stain and do the lacquer on top of it. You just have to change.
Have to.
No, not some power wash it.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised what comes off with the power washer with that paint. And then you might have to do the corners or do something like that. But I think in the long run, you'll be much happier.
Yeah, I need to find happiness.
I'm going to stain. I'm going to stain on mine because mine's, log cabin wood, whatever. So I just don't know what color. They make so many different colors now, and I do know the colored stains don't last as long. That's one thing I've read. But
yeah, we used to we used green at our old house in Yorkville. And we had to redo it every summer. It's not cheap.
Your paint that you use, though, are you using like a satin, or are you doing like the high gloss?
I'm doing the porch paint, whatever's in it.
Whatever's in it. It says it's for a porch.
Yeah, if it's a porch paint, I wonder if that comes in different.
Lowe's tells me what to use, and that's what I use.
Don't you hate it though when you're in there and you have this amazing idea, and they're like, "Oh no, you can't do that," and you're like, "I'm gonna still buy all of this."
And I'm always like, "You want to bet?"
Yeah, I'm like, I'll send you pictures.
I'll send you pictures. That's right.
Or I'll go in and be like, "I need this cut at an angle like this," and they're like, and I'm like, "I know you can do it."
I know.
Have you seen that tool? It looks like it's all these little pins that are, and you say you've got a weird.
Oh yes,
and you
the angle thing, yeah.
Up against it, and it
cuts
comes
it
out exactly as, and then you just lay it down.
Yeah, it's basically like a ruler, and you put up against like a window seal or like your door, the molding, and then you can cut around it to make I love that commercial. It's very satisfying.
I just wonder if it really works that well.
Yeah, I mean, it's on
It'd be great
TikTok,
for doing around toilets and sink pipes,
And then it locks in place to cut it?
Yeah, so it's basically like making a pattern, of whatever you're cutting around, and then you go and you can trace it, and then you cut it.
That sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, so you want to be able to probably push on like the the saw or whatever you're using on there, but
No,
you use
you
it
just
to
use
make
it
the
to
pattern.
make the pattern.
Yeah. And, you know, yeah, I've seen it a lot, so I would say it's probably decent.
Menards.
Yeah.
Maybe, that place is
Maybe.
huge.
Yeah, there's that scene on TV section.
Yeah.
There is?
There's a whole as seen on TV
I
section.
love those sections.
Me too.
So my daughter came home with this goodie bag the other day, and she wanted to thank everybody. People are still donating stuff to Wheeling Hospital. Mugshots gave everybody a free coffee. A Touch of Amish gave everybody, well, I don't know if everyone got the same thing. Mini Buckeyes.
Dangerous.
Gypsy Lace? No, Gypsy.
What is it, the food truck? Or
Yeah, the food truck.
Gypsy Lace.
Gypsy Lace. They did these really cool peanut butter brownie mixes. And I thought that was really nice. Yeah.
Yeah, totally. I love when people give me mixes.
Little pick-me-ups, yeah. Someone else donated a candle too. I wish I remember their name, and I don't. Yeah.
Alexis, are you listening?
Yeah. But no, they the people at Wheeling Hospital really appreciate that.
Yeah. I mean, they're all wanting vacations.
No,
right
they do.
now. I mean, it's just the long hours and lots.
Yeah.
And lots. Not just Corona though. I mean, that adds another level of like care on top, but there's a lot.
Yeah, it is. It's really nice to see that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, anytime that someone delivers stuff to them for free, food, they love having lunch delivered for free.
I mean, who doesn't?
I mean, well, like, they'll pay for it, but yeah, they said anytime someone calls and says, hey, we're going to deliver lunch to the hospital for free.
Yeah.
And they tip the person, but
Yeah.
they're like, we love that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because if they're anything like me, they forget their lunch at least
5 times a week out of 5?
about that. Yeah, about that.
Here's what's really sad. I pack my daughter's lunch every single day she goes to work.
Yeah.
I can't pack mine.
I pack 3 lunches.
What is wrong with me?
I pack 3 lunches, and I usually pack my own. And guess who? I'm like, everybody get your lunch. And I have a stern mom voice, too, with it. Get your lunch, because if you forget it, I'm not bringing it to you. And I sit down at my office, and I'm like, I forgot my lunch.
Oh, gosh.
So I here lately, I've just been making a huge salad, and I take it in on like Monday, and then every day I just get some out and add something to it. Today I got the roasted sweet potatoes again from the public market, and let me tell you, they are sent from heaven.
Oh my goodness.
They're so good. Oh, it's almost 2:00, but they had an Indian hot plate today too that looks so good. Chicken masala and naan bread, and she's making it all fresh there today.
Nice.
It was not part of my plan though for this week, so I couldn't get it.
I had my first Irish egg this past weekend.
Oh yeah, that Jessica was talking about?
Interesting to say
She
the
does
least.
Scottish.
Yeah, so it's a boiled egg with maple, no, it's a lie. What's the, sausage, maple sausage around it, and then it's deep fried.
Yeah.
I've never had that before, and this was the meal that River City was putting together for the Celtic Festival, and the mashed potatoes had cabbage in it. I've never had, it might have been the best thing I've
I would
ever
love
ate.
that. I love cabbage.
Yeah, it was odd, but it was so good.
Have you never, I mean, you're a pierogi lover, do you not get the cabbage pierogies? Have you ever had those?
Yeah, absolutely, but
So
cabbage in my mashed potato? Oh,
But that's what's, it's inside. That's the filling.
Yeah,
usually.
no.
Yeah, so yeah, that would be good, and as long as it has those caramelized onions in there, sold, right?
Yeah.
What we got coming up?
Well,
Get your,
we have the Casa 5K.
5K, that's in April.
5K.
Yeah.
The Casa is a really good
child advocacy
program. It's people that fight for the children. There's a lot of times, I'm not going to mention any situations, where a judge is, heck bent on, reunifying kids with the wrong family. And CASA are people who go and fight for these kids. They speak up for the kids. They're their kids' voice. They're advocates. And they're all volunteers. During Christmas, they spoil these children like you wouldn't believe, with Christmas presents and stuff like that. So they are doing a fun event up at the Quaker Steak and Lube. It's $30 to register unless you have a group of 4 or more. Everyone teams up, dresses up in superhero costumes. And then if you sign up for 4 or more, it is $25 a person.
And Winging It's got a team.
Winging It's got a team. Lola, you want to wing it with us? I'm not promising I'm running a 5K, but I'm going to be there. I'm going to be there.
I'm going to do my best.
Yeah.
You're going to run?
I'll run some of it. Yeah, I've been running. I'm doing good.
Yeah, I might have like a little scooter next to her while she's running.
I can piggyback her, it's fine.
Yeah,
I've been lifting weights.
We'll be
too,
okay.
so, yeah.
We'll make it.
Yeah. We'll get it done.
Yeah.
I was going to talk about another thing too. No,
That's okay.
shit.
Again, the PBR is postponed. We are hoping for an October date. If you're looking for a refund, or you can hang on to your tickets, either way, you can call us at 304-233-7000. Guys, that's another Wednesday. Get outside, please, and walk.
Tune in next week for the sneak peek for Waterfront Wednesdays with Josh Blakemore.
You're listening to The Watchdog.